Hi, I'm Erica, and this is my father-in-law, Jim, the grumpiest and best plumber that I know. And today we are going to be talking about when you should consider hiring a licensed plumber.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I started Grumpy Plumber because I'm lucky enough to have a dad who's an amazing plumber. He's been a plumber for 48 years. And since I bought my house 5 years ago, he has saved us tens of thousands of dollars with his experience and his advice. So we started this channel to help people out with some great plumbing advice. And for those who really care about credentials, he's been a master plumber in Michigan, and he's also a C36 plumbing contractor in California. 48 years of plumbing, he knows something. It also makes him a little bit grumpy when he's sharing advice. Don't piss him off.
Okay, Jim, when should somebody hire a licensed plumber?
Well, I would say you should have a licensed plumber. If you were to build a brand new home and you don't know the codes, that's when I think you should hire a licensed plumber. But you don't need to. You can build a new home and do it all yourself, and if you know the codes, because if you're in a state that's being inspected or your house is being inspected, you're going to have to plumb that house by codes. Well, nowadays you can go on the internet and find out what the code is, and they'll probably have a drawing to tell you how to do it. Which, somebody taught me, and I always say you can do it. If you hire a licensed plumber, he should know how to do it, but you want to make sure he is a licensed plumber. And here's the big thing is, he might have a license, but is he insured? You need to be insured. You need to carry liability insurance, and you need to carry insurance. Insurance is important, because if he screws up your house, you don't have a leg to stand on. And another thing, you probably want a contract with that licensed plumber, because if you don't, if it's over $600 and you don't have a contract, you don't have a leg to stand on in court.
Would I ask a plumber that I'm going to hire, like, are you insured? Do I just ask that?
Yes, you should ask for a copy of insurance. Everybody I work for, like if I work as a subcontractor to a construction company, they ask me for a copy of their insurance. And another thing, if he works by himself, he doesn't need workman's comp insurance. If he has employees, you want to make sure they have workman's comp, or else they can come back and sue you. Oh. That's a big feature with any trade, with anybody you bring in, even that handyman. I mean, you can bring somebody in, and if it's under $600, I think you don't have to worry about it. But you want to make sure that guy knows what he's doing. You don't want to listen to your friend, because when he shows up at your house, you're going to think he's the greatest guy in the world, and maybe not as great as your friend thinks he is, and you might get upset over that. But yeah, you need people to know what they're doing. If you don't, you can do it yourself. I'm a plumber for 48 years, okay? But I'll tell you what, if I got a little electrical problem, I'll do it. I'll figure it out. I'll go on YouTube and find out. Years ago I put an addition on a house, and I hired an electrician. And he come in and put the panel in. I want him over to rough the house in, and he looked at me and he goes, "You do it. I'll tell you how to do it." And that's the same way I feel with you. You can fix a lot of things yourself. You can fix faucets. You can, check a drain out. Drain cleaning, I don't know, that machine will eat you alive if you don't know how to use it. But, there's things you can do yourself. So you think about it. If you're doing a little odd job and you trust the handyman or the carpenter that's doing it, but keep it in mind, you're the ones responsible for it, not him on it. So if you hire a plumber, he's the guy that's responsible. He's the guy that's supposed to know the codes. But nowadays with PVC pipe and PEX tubing and a lot of devices are made to make life easier, and that stuff lasts. Like I say, PVC pipe, drain piping, I've gone back after 30 years of doing a house and remove drains and find out, man, this stuff is almost as clean as the day it went in. Cast iron pipe, it's quiet, but it rots out over the years. So, I'm not a big, I think it's great stuff. You might be quieter, but, if you're going to live a long time, it's going to rot out and you're going to have leaks in it, just like we did with galvanized pipe. And we can have leaks in copper pipe over the time it can wear out. PEX tubing, we could probably get leaks in it, But, the thing is like going back to the question is, you need to know the codes. You want to make sure the guy's insured, You just don't want to hire the cab driver that just dropped you off at the front door. You want somebody that knows what they're doing, and you don't want him to listen to his bullshit. You want to know, if he's talking a lot like I am right now, probably he's bullshitting you. So, but otherwise, yes, hire somebody, a license, if you're afraid to do it yourself.
Okay. What would be, if I was like wanting to dip my toe into the DIY water, what are like the easiest things? Is it like changing a faucet? Is that easy? Could I do that?
Yes, you could do that.
Is that like one of the easier things to start doing?
You can repair a faucet yourself. It's easy enough to do. Most faucets are not complicated. I'll tell you what the most complicated thing about the newest faucets on the market is to figure out how to get the handles off. I mean, sometimes you got to get the handle off, then you got to get the escutcheon. That's a little fancy thing that covers up the brass valve underneath it. That sometimes can be a tough thing. If you have a problem, it says a name on there, it says Kohler, it says Toto, it says American Standard, call them up. They'll walk you through it.
So are there any other jobs that you can think of, like small jobs that people call you to their house to do, but you're like, you know what, you could spend 3 hours doing this yourself?
Well, they have plug aerators. I've gone to people's houses at $135 an hour and pulled their aerator off. It takes 2 seconds. Tap it on the countertop, clean it out a little bit, screw it back in, and head back to my truck.
What's an aerator?
Aerator is on the end of the faucet that makes the thing look bubbly.
Got it.
Okay?
All right.
Or it might be a flapper. Go in, grab a flapper, put it in,
In a toilet.
In a toilet.
Okay.
Which, if you got the right flapper or you go out and up, that's easy enough to do.
Okay.
Like I was telling, the garbage disposal, if there's something caught in it, there's a little tool with the InSinkErator brand, which is 90% of garbage disposals out there are InSinkErators. They have a little Allen wrench that goes in the bottom. You can put it on there and try to free it up. Don't use the plunger handle or the broom handle. That don't work very well unless you don't have an InSinkErator. Then you might have to use it. Things like that. You nowadays with the internet and YouTube, you can look at it and think, okay, maybe I can do myself. Another thing, you got to wait for that guy to show up, And I always believe that my son, when I do projects for them, they want to hire things done, and I go, fine, but is the guy going to show up in an hour, or is he going to show up in 4 days? My philosophy, I want to get it done now. So I've always been one to do it myself.
All right.
But I ask questions too. So.
All right. I think that's a good, nuance there. If you want things done quickly, you should try and do it yourself.
Try and do it yourself.
So you don't have to wait for somebody to show up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
I had a doctor that I went to his house for years and did big house, And when he retired, I said to him one day, I said, I haven't heard from him. He says, I don't have anything to do. I'm learning how to fix everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
When you say fix everything, I explained to him how to fix a shower valve, a thermostatic shower valve. Okay? And he called me a couple hours later and he brought me a bottle of wine. And I will not tell you how much that bottle of wine was worth. But I'm never going to drink it because it was so expensive.
Because you taught him how to
I
do
taught
it,
him how to do
himself.
it. I taught him how to do it.
That's awesome.
Anybody can learn how to do it. I'm retired, but I get phone calls every day and I tell people how to do things.
He does a lot of FaceTiming with people.
FaceTiming with people. That's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's the FaceTiming nowadays. And a lot of companies will FaceTime with you. They're getting that way. They want to do that. And just to see if they can help you easier.
Yeah.
So,
great.
Because the trades are moving out of the service business. They only want to put things in brand new.
Yep.
You don't find us old guys that we had to learn how to do service in our apprenticeship programs or, to know how to fix things. We had to. The new guy, no, he doesn't.
Well, all right. So, to rehash everything we talked about, because we talked about it a lot. So, it is, you would hire a plumber if you don't know the codes and you're not willing to learn them, because that is really important, especially when you're building a house or doing something that you want to sell. And then DIY it if you don't want to wait for somebody to show up and you have some time and you can look on YouTube and figure out how to change your faucet.
Right.
All right, great.
But a big thing is if you do a house or do a major remodel, like we always used to say, you don't need a permit if you're not moving a drain. Okay? You don't need a permit if you are setting a toilet. But you know, if you're adding a bathroom, even if you're doing it yourself, get a permit, because then they know you go to sell that house, they know there's another bathroom there. That's real important to find out, because otherwise they can tell you to tear it out. So.
Okay. Thanks, Jim. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you hit subscribe, because we come out with a new video at least every week answering one of your plumbing questions. If you have a question, be sure to drop it in the comments below and Jim will answer it.
And I hope you liked it, so hit the like button. If you didn't like it, ask your neighbor lady next door, maybe she knows how to fix it.